Assalamu alaikum, welcome back. In this part we explain something very important about the fractional force that is called air resistance. Air resistance is a form of friction and it's very important because it will exert in the movement of any object, okay? And when the speed of the object accelerate the speed of the object increase and the applied force from the object increase, also the fractional force come from the air resistance increase also, because that we can say that the air resistance here we can make it Fr, okay, and the Fr is roughly proportional with the car speed, okay. In the higher speed the Fr or the air resistance roughly proportional with the square of the car's speed, because that they are proportional with each other. And when we have more of the speed we have more of air resistance, okay. But when the force from the object become higher and higher and become the fastest thing or the higher speed, in this case the object will move with constant speed, and in this case acceleration 0 and the net force also equals 0. We have very easy to understand example about the air resistance, that is the free fall, okay. Now let's watch with each other this video to understand more about air resistance and understand how the air resistance the net force becomes 0 when the constant speed become when the speed become constant and the net force equals 0. Let's watch with each other. Okay, in this video you can see that we have airplane, and this airplane will move in a very high place. In this case, as you see here, when they start to fall down, at the beginning of course the speed will become 0, there are no speed yet, okay. But when this one fall down, now we have speed, okay, and we have air resistance. By the way, at the beginning the gravitational force exerting for this person to let the speed higher. Can you see that the green one, that is the gravitational force, and the red one is the air resistance or the force fractional force, okay. Now at the beginning the gravitational force will become bigger than the fractional force, okay. When the time move, now you can see that the fractional force increase, because when we have more fractional force we have more speed, both of them increase. In one time you can see that here the speed become 55 meters per second, and the gravitational force equaled with the fractional force, and the net force in this case equals 0, no net force here, and the constant speed, and this person can moves with the constant speed 55 meters per second, and no acceleration. Complete. Look over here guys, like that, okay. Now after that this guy want to slow down. Of course, if he landed with 55 meters per second, that will be a very huge number to moves with, okay, on the land, okay, because that this one used parachute, and the parachute will slow him down, okay. Can you see that now we have very huge fractional force come from the air, and the gravitational force will be lower, okay, and now the acceleration slow down, and the speed slow down, okay. Now this object accelerate but in negative, okay. Now the acceleration decrease, and now this way after 1 minute now we have a gravitational force and we have the force come from the air resistance, and now the speed constant also. They are the same. The net force here in this case also 0, okay. Net force here equals 0, okay. Excellent. Okay, now that is called, okay, now when we have the net force equal 0 and no acceleration, and the object moves with the constant speed, this maximum speed called terminal speed. Maximum speed when the object moves in constant speed and the net force equal 0. At the end, you should to know that we have 4 fundamental forces. We have gravity, we have electromagnetic force, strong force, weak force. Okay, that is the 4 fundamental forces, and all of them are field forces. And you should to know that the gravity, it will become the weakest force of all. Yes, gravity, it will be the weakest field force of all, but it will depend on the mass, because that Earth, Sun, the Sun has the biggest gravity because of the mass, because of the very huge of this object. Okay, that is the gravity. But in fact, gravity, it will be the weakest one, and you can understand that when we have the magnet, and the magnet can attract something. Sometimes the very huge electric magnet can exert or can attract the car, can easily attract the car, and can take the car, and more. Now you can understand that the electric force here, or electric magnetic force, can exert more than the gravity. Okay, because that the gravity will be the lowest one, and the strongest one is the strong force come from the nucleus. Okay, it's a strong force. It's very, very strong. Okay, and also you should understand that the electromagnetic force, like the fractional force, but if we are speaking about fractional force as in the microscopic level, we can see that under the microscope, very high microscope, we can see that the interaction between protons and electrons in the two surfaces attract with each other. Okay, and it will become the field force. But if we are talking about if we are talking about the level of the microscopic level, okay, that is electromagnetic force, like also the magnet or magnetism, like also the electric force also become electromagnetism force, and like that, guys. Okay, now these that are 4 fundamental forces for all field forces in our Earth. I hope you understand this part. If you still have a question, please ask me in WhatsApp or down in the comments. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.